is it?
Sorry. Reading stuff. Gosh.
Naturally.
Yeah. Reading stuff about the FTC versus Microsoft lawsuit thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Microsoft, I thought it was so stupid. Was it Phil Spencer had to under oath said he would unequivocally never remove Call of Duty from PlayStation, and I was like, what a fucking waste of taxpayer dollars is this bullshit right now?
Yeah, I'm reading about an article right now where the judge asked Phil Spencer why Halo wasn't on PlayStation, and he also stated that Halo, when it started, is a much smaller franchise than Call of Duty. So it's like, he's like, it was reducing costs, and at the time when it was launched, this and that, it's like.
I feel like.
But they've stated multiple times that Call of Duty will be on both, because if they don't, it's just they're losing money, right? But like Halo.
Yeah, I think some of the largest player base is on PS5 now. Like
Halo, they expanded from only Xbox to Xbox and PC, with the Games Pass and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they got, a little bit more money from it. But even then, to add it to an entirely new console is a huge undertaking, and they're like, oh, well, you're going to take Call of Duty away. Like, every Call of Duty is already being made for PlayStation, though. To take it away would be more work and a bunch of wasted time and money and effort,
Yeah, and now it's it's expected. There's a standard set there.
Yeah, it'd be
I feel
waste.
Like monopoly concerns are real, but with video games, I just don't I don't see that happening. There's too much space for indie players in the gaming world.
Yeah,
I don't think it can monopolize.
Microsoft is explicitly against Sony, and you're like, there's a ton of Microsoft games on PlayStation though. That's
and they worked together on projects in the past. They've purposely fed into the rivalry to drive sales. Is 100% what was happening.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm like, he had to testify that.
Yeah, I saw that, and it literally read like an Onion article. I was like, this is what news is right now?
Yeah. Well, it's either that or a submarine that blew up.
Well, okay, so welcome back to Mindless Prattle. The past few weeks, we just keep getting started. There's so much to talk about, so many things happening, so little time. So I'm Ripley, that's Jordan, we're your hosts, and we're here to talk to you about stuff and things. Aha.
Yes.
Okay, so I did have something to talk about because I woke up this morning and I don't really pay attention to the news much since COVID, right? I knew OCD diagnosis, I don't be watching the news. I can't do it. But I get a lot of my news from Philip DeFranco. Have you seen any Philly D's videos?
Okay, did you just start by saying Philip DeFranco and then going, have you seen Philly D?
Well, because his username used to be Philly D, but now he just goes by Philip DeFranco. And he used to do a lot of other videos, but now he does a lot of news content. And he's very he'll tell you what his opinions are, but he'll tell you just what is happening, all the facts of an issue, just tell you this is what's going on.
This on his YouTube channel? What are you
He's
talking
on
about?
YouTube, he's on TikTok, all that stuff, and he actually goes to places now and like a news reporter would, and goes there and sees what's going on. So this morning I felt like I had left politics and the news and everything that was going on in season 1, right? And now this morning I woke up and it's I'm in season 3 of the news.
Season 1? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I missed out on a bunch of stuff. So it's I woke up in season 3. So this morning, I did not know that Russia was on the brink of civil war.
What the fuck?
Last I heard about the news was there was the war in Ukraine, all that stuff happening. No, Russia is having a civil war.
You're sitting here every day worried that the sun's gonna explode, but you're not paying attention to things going on in the world.
Listen, shut up
now.
But so Russia has been on the brink of a civil war. Basically, this military group they hired to help them with the Ukraine war, it was unsatisfied, thinks the government's corrupt, and so started marching all their tanks through Russia.
Crazy. Who
Met no resistance. The civilians, nobody is stopping them. Putin's got all this stuff scrambling to get his military in place, because they're spread out.
Because most of his military is either super spread out or was concentrated in Ukraine. So like, there's no.
But the civilians not giving a single fuck. They're just letting them walk through.
But if you were living in Russia and that could be a thing, like that's just a normal thing that if they said, Putin sent us here, you'd be like, okay, like there's no way you could verify that, Like,
no, but
what resistance would you offer? You'd be like, oh, you're here to overthrow him? All right, whatever.
Yeah, because a lot of the people there still love him, or at least they say so publicly because they can't say anything else. But I know a lot of the younger people have gone on record since the war, and like they do interviews and stuff, and they're like, no, we want this regime out. We're tired of this. But it was really cool because I was just like, we're watching history like live. Like it's
not
a major
history.
event.
We're just watching current events. It's not history yet.
Yeah, but it's gonna be history, and it's just
everything's gonna be history. What are you talking about?
I just feel like we've dealt with a lot of
larger thing. There's like a larger scale. Come on now.
I just felt like
history. You seem frustrated
because you keep
Have
interrupting
you tried talking
me.
about Philly D's.
You never let me finish my thoughts.
D's nuts.
And that, fuck you. I can't finish my thought, and then you interrupt me, and I lose my train of thought, and then I can't talk about it anymore because I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm just frustrated.
Well, I believe in you.
I
and
don't.
I support you fully, so we'll just wait.
Except for when I'm talking.
Well, that was your chance, and now we're gonna move on, I guess. So
TLDR, I just think it's crazy that we've already lived through so many like major events in our life, and we're like not even 26 yet. Like COVID, pandemic, all that stuff, and now another civil war. But I was thinking too, like historically, whenever a civil war happens, it tends to spur a bunch of other civil wars. So I think this is interesting. We'll see what happens.
Are you trying to incite a civil war here? Is that what you're telling me?
I am not trying to incite a civil war.
That's what it sounds like. You're just kind of like subliminally putting it out there, like, so Russia's doing this thing. Have you?
I 100% think that there needs to be a change in this country, like very soon, or else it probably will lead that direction in the next like 20, 30 years.
What are you talking about? Okay. Why don't we just try and buy a house? Oh, no, you can't because it was easier during the Great Depression to buy a house.
Don't worry, though.
Right now,
prices are down $100K.
Yeah, we got that
one for only 600,000.
It was like, hey, prices in your area went down from 900 to 800,000 for a house, and I was like, oh, goody! Thank goodness you're here.
And what's crazy? So we moved to Vegas when the housing bubble collapsed. My parents bought that mini mansion, 8-bedroom, 5.5 bathrooms for like, I think it was like 700,000, something like that at the time. The houses that I'm looking at now that like are these beautiful $800,000 homes here are like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. They're like regular houses.
They're regular houses. Yeah,
like
crazy,
what the fuck? You could buy a mansion like 10 years ago for the same cost, and now those are like billions of dollars. That's my favorite,
I don't know about billions, but definitely in the millions.
Like you see like people buying these giant properties, building these like gigantic $1 million homes with all these pools and stuff and like crazy hardware and like just futuristic stuff you'd never need in a home. And then like 2 blocks down the street, they're like, we don't have water for the city.
Yeah. Speaking of that, of futuristic stuff, we were apparently voluntold that we're getting an upgrade in our apartment, which was just fun out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to install a new smart lock and a new smart thermometer and then some water sensors. And then we're going to tie it all together with some smart switches in your home and put an Alexa device in here. And I was like, awesome. Thank you for putting a government spy in my apartment.
They didn't install switches, but they installed like the thing. I don't really know. It's like the hub or whatever. It's this giant thing. They plugged it into our thing. It's stuck there. We can't take it out. We can't unplug it.
Which outlet is it plugged into?
The one underneath the counter.
Oh, yeah. I think it's also like a water or like a leak sensor or something is what they were saying. And I'm like, why are we getting forced to have all this like smart home crap? Like, would it? But
I
so bad that I had
told
a
you in the
key
beginning,
to the house. Like, what?
I thought it wasn't optional because of the way they presented it, and like everything I read online, people who got the notification about, oh, go to the little class and see what it's about. Every single one of them was like within 3 to 4 weeks, we had those put in our apartments.
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, like, you remember
And-
when we first moved in, we had to sign the lease that said if we lost one of the keys, it was $50 to replace it.
Yeah.
Do I have to turn in that key because it's no longer useful? And I don't really feel,
They didn't
I don't
ask
want
you
to,
for it.
I don't want to throw it away because I don't want to throw it away and then be like, all right, we need the keys back, and be like, no, like what?
Yeah,
The
and
only thing
going to
that I
work
can
the other day,
think of-
taking my keys was useless. Like I just picked them up like normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
unless
sorry, you were
you're,
saying.
no, I was just saying, like, if you get like evicted, they'd just be like, well, I guess we'll change the combo on your lock, and you just
Well,
can't get
so
in anymore. Like,
that was something I
you
was
know?
thinking too. Is like, what if the apartments get mad at you and they're like, they're not known for doing legal things unless you force them to. So like, they just change your code suddenly because they're mad you're late on rent a day. Oh,
Yeah, something like
okay.
that. They have
Different
like
story, same
there's
theme.
two. Well, there's two like apps that you can get. There's like the renter app, and then there's like the community manager app. And in that one, it has a list of all of the units and all of the codes to get in any of them. So you're like, you could just change it and be like, no, this one's locked out now. Nobody gets in or out. You're like, I'm glad that someone else can just do that remotely to my apartment. That sounds
Did you see that
wonderful.
happen
Thank
to
you.
a guy recently? He got an Amazon delivery and he has like a smart house completely, like everything is from Amazon and stuff. So somebody delivered a package to his house, thought he said something racist, and without investigating, without doing anything, Amazon locked everything down in his house. He couldn't get into or out, like do anything with his house. It was all locked down because it's all smart technology. They just
What? Who?
Yeah.
Who at
Let me look up
Amazon
the article.
was
It
just
was like 2 weeks ago. Let me look up the article real quick. So basically, Amazon shut off this guy's house for over a week because his house is all decked out in smart home devices. Because a delivery driver falsely accused him of saying a racial slur via the doorbell intercom. He said less than 24 hours later, everything in his house was cut off. He was quick to point out the flaws in the allegation, including that none of his family members were home when the package was dropped off. He then reviewed footage from the earliest surveillance cameras set up outside his home and said no racial slur was uttered. The doorbell had issued an automated response and said to the driver, "Excuse me, can I help you?" The driver had headphones in, and he said the next day his Amazon account was logged and all of his Echo devices were logged out. And like his whole house was controlled by these devices. Like everything he had was a smart device.
Yeah, crazy how that would backfire on somebody.
That's what I like. I've never wanted like the assistants or anything. Like I'm happy with Siri on my phone. I stream, so we have the cameras and everything in here. There's enough hackable stuff in here. We don't need to add to it. I thought you were gonna say stuff now.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Like what? That's your whole story. You got locked out. Moving on.
Yeah, just that was like kind of a thing. Like they can kind of control those devices whenever they want. And there's always a little clause in the stuff they have you signing saying they have the permission to like take back their technology or shut it down at any point.
Yeah, no one reads any of that. Of course there is. Like if you ever read it, it's just like an agreement that says we're loaning you this even though you gave us money and we reserve the rights to do whatever the fuck we want. Like
it's the same issue with digital copies of games. They can lock you out of your account and you just lose thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It happens on PlayStation a lot because their security measures are terrible, but whatever.
What do you mean it happens on PlayStation a lot? What are you talking about?
I had an issue with one game, like the licensing or something of it. So I went to go check on it and I found a lot of stories where people were posting in like forums and stuff trying to get help because their account, they'd get like flagged for something minor, like they did something in a game that somebody didn't like, got reported, whatever. And then PlayStation would shut down their whole account, usually it was in the case of like fraud, like people whose accounts had activity on it, not from them, but like somebody hacked their account or whatever, and like caused issues with their card. PlayStation would just shut down their whole account, and then they can't access those games anymore because it's all digital licensing. You don't have the physical disc, so you can't, just put it on your new account or whatever. I don't think people realize how little they actually own. I think people are more aware of the problem now. Because, with streaming services shutting down and stuff, they've taken a lot of shows off the air forever. Like there's no copies of them anywhere. You just can't watch them anymore. So a lot of people have started pirating stuff or making digital libraries to kind of combat this issue. But I think with AI now becoming a big thing, especially too, it's going to be an even worse problem.
I don't know. I think just don't insult people and you won't get your house shut off, I guess. I don't know. Or just don't have your whole house run by a fucking Amazon. Like, why would you? Like,
yeah. Haven't you guys seen Smart House?
Okay, but in the end, it all worked out. They just like got a new mom. They were like, okay, it's cool.
Well, that's a Disney ending.
Yeah, there's no way. In reality, they'd be like, well, we're prisoners here now. And then the house is like, no, we're family now. You stay here. Okay, I'm sorry.
Like, anybody got an axe in the house anywhere? Start breaking through the door. Are you still waking up?
I don't know. I slept through one of my alarms this morning because I don't know.
I thought you texted me pretty late.
I've just been working all week, and it's been real fun. But it's just because I'm off next week, and I'm trying to catch up before then, you know, get ahead a little bit.
I have a lot to do on Monday and Tuesday, but I don't want to work on my weekend, right. So.
That's fair. What you been playing lately? You playing any new games?
I haven't been playing anything new. I've literally been playing Destiny 2, Season of the Deep stuff, and then The Sims. And I don't know. I think we talked about it last week. I've been streaming on Kick, so I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. I'm trying to get to max season rank, but the next activity I need to do, I need a fire team of 6 people.
Yeah,
or am I supposed to get 5 friends?
I always hated those. It was like, next, do this. And you're like, but you're required to have a fire team of 6. And you can't join people publicly. No, you have to have a fire team before you can join in.
I'd say that's awesome. My biggest complaint with Destiny is they really should have like everything matchmaking. Even if it's just like a separate bubble, you know, how they have like, you choose a different circle based on which activity you want to do. Like, oh, it's that same thing, but matchmaking. Like, I think it wouldn't be too difficult to do. And I mean, you can find groups. There's like looking for groups websites and stuff. And then I do have a few friends I could ask, but I don't know if our schedules will line up because me and Em barely get to play things together because she goes by she, they, I don't know, I care. TLDR, she works a lot of long hours.
Your explanation was like 5 seconds. And I'm like, anyway, that was too long. I'm like, what was it?
Sorry. I get really self-conscious when I mess up while I'm talking. Like, I feel like I have to get to the point really quickly.
Anyway.
Because I feel like I tend to be really wordy and lengthy.
Yeah. Like, yeah, so here's my explanation. Anyway, here's the wrap up. You're like, what? Where was the explanation part? I don't understand.
But, you know, they work really long hours and stuff, so she can always hop on to play with me.
So
her boyfriend's always on Destiny, so I probably ask him.
Stuff. Gotcha.
No, I've been having fun in The Sims though. So I told you I'm building up like they're called neighborhoods, but I'm like in like a little town.
Yeah, and what town is complete without a strip club?
Listen, Wicked Whims is fun. And strip clubs are fun. You can set outfits and they can dance on stage. So I made a place. There's a song I really like called Pink Pony Club, and it's about dancing at a strip club. So I made a strip club called the Pink Pony Club in my game. And it's pink and purple. And it's really
like
cute.
That you just described what a strip club is. Like, you can have them put on outfits and dance on a stage. Like, yes, that is what happens at a strip club.
It's like, have I ever sent you that meme? John Mulaney, like his comedy thing about Ice-T in a special victims unit.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That I always think about that anytime somebody says something with that cadence. That's like the first thing that pops into my head. Like when somebody bets the house on the ponies. Yes, Ice-T.
Yes.
You work in the sex crimes division. You think you'd stop
this dude's attracted to little kids with ponytails. Yes.
Like that's one of my favorite ones of his. And also the comedy sketch where he says, it's like paying a horse to watch your dog. Because that's what I describe being a supervisor is like in a retail fast food establishment. It's like paying a horse to watch your dog.
Establishment. Yes.
Establishment.
Stab at you. You stab at me. Establishment.
What episode are we on?
What are you talking about? I think we're on like 675.
It's 27.
Are you talking about like One Piece? Yeah, we're on like the 670s, I think.
What was I even talking about?
I don't know. You were stabbing people at work, and then you asked about the episode of One Piece we were on.
No. When you were making fun of me for saying establishment, what was I talking about?
The episode number? What do you mean?
Before that.
No, that's it. You were talking about strip clubs and then how you stabbed people.
But no, so I made a place called the Pink Pony Club based on that song because it's really cute. It's a nice strip club if I do say so myself.
Yeah, all the workers love it there.
They do. You can. So it's like it works like a business. So you can check up on your employees and ask them.
Wait a minute.
And all of my employees are like,
so
I love working
strip clubs
here.
are businesses now? Since when?
No, that girl does not want to go home with you, and her name isn't really Claudine.
What? What name is that?
Okay, it's just the first name that popped in my head. I was gonna say Claudia, but that's my mom's name. So then I was like, Claudine.
I know. Like usually they say like Candy or Crystal.
Well, no, okay. So they have like their stripper name, like Candy or Crystal, whatever. So sometimes though, guys will be like, "Oh no, what's your real name? Like, tell me your real name." So they have like a second fake name that's like a regular name. Because like no, they're not gonna tell you your
just give
name.
them any names. You should be like, yeah, my name it's Ripley. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
My name is Zimbabwe.
Yeah. You can get away with it though. Be like, it's Ripley, you can believe it or don't,
It's weird because there's a really huge generational divide in what people think of my name. And it's getting worse because, there used to be Ripley's, believe it or not, when we were kids and stuff like that. And even like today's kids, no. I don't know. I've met a few people named Ripley, like kids at work that are named Ripley. But I don't know like why they chose that. And then Alien is getting a little bit too old for people to know either. So it's like, people are just like, what an interesting name. And I'm like, yeah, my mom gave it to me.
Thank goodness.
I don't know what to say when people tell me I have a nice name.
I got it for my birthday. Like what?
I don't know what else to say. Like, yeah, it's my name. Thanks.
Just say thank you.
I'm so awkward.
I really like your name. Thank you. Me too. Like, thanks. I was born with it. It's not Maybelline. I don't.
I can't remember where I was, but one time somebody saw my ID and they're like, "Oh, I thought Ripley was a nickname." I was like, what?
They knew your name beforehand and then saw your ID. It was like, yeah, Ripley. I thought that was a nickname. What would it have been
short for?
What are you talking about? Ripleyus.
Did I ever tell you that my grandfather's name was Claudius at birth?
No, is that where you're getting Claudine from?
No, that's actually from
your
True
family.
Blood.
You and your family of Claudes.
But yeah, so my grandpa's name was Claudius, but when he joined the military, he thought people would make fun of him, so he shortened it to Claude. Got it legally changed.
Well, there goes all the Eases.
My family really likes interesting names. Like my great grandmother's name was Cinderella.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why?
I only met her one time when I was like 4. Okay. She was really, really old.
Well, yeah, I mean, all right.
I've got pictures from her birthday party.
Is she wearing glass slippers or?
No, she's a really old woman. She's like sitting, I think she's in like a wheelchair or something.
Well, okay. I think she's on the trapeze. Like what?
Like in the photos,
Yeah, I know. All right. You sure? You sure you didn't bury her on a wheelchair?
Shut up.
What are you in the photos? Oh, thank goodness you specified that she's not currently in a wheelchair.
Do you remember the shit?
I don't remember that. Go on.
But the video I sent you the other day, what was it? I lost my train of thought.
You talking about Drake and Josh in the submarine?
No. Stop.
Where's the door?
I honestly felt so bad about that whole situation, but God,
The
Gen
submarine?
Z
Why?
made
Fuck 'em. What are you talking about? They signed waivers. They knew the risks. They saw that it wasn't safe to go down there. If you were dumb enough to get on that homemade submarine to go visit the Titanic, you're dumb enough to die. Like, that's it. It's
I
fine.
just still feel bad. Like, it's not a fun way to die.
Fun way to die. They died in like less than a millisecond or something, wasn't it? Like, they had no idea. It's fine.
Yeah, the implosion would have occurred in like 2 milliseconds, is what I read, and then it said the brain would have taken about 4 to register what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. So, no hard feelings. They were just dumb.
Did you watch that Elsa video I sent you?
Some of it, like, why did you send me like a 2-minute video about
it was
fucking
so
singing
funny.
Frozen songs poorly?
No, okay, but the ending was so funny because she changes some of the words, and the ending.
I know, but she changes like one word every like 30 seconds. So I'm just sitting here listening to fucking Frozen being sung, not that great. And then you're like, oh, and then there's 2 words that got changed. And I'm like, haha.
No, you have to watch something. So at the
I watched
end,
the whole thing. That's why I'm like,
chat.
What do you mean?
You just said you didn't watch the whole thing.
I said, why would I watch the whole thing? It was like 2.5 minutes.
Okay, well, the ending was the funniest part. So the ending, you know where she throws the icicle at Anna?
Yes, I did watch it. Come on, now what?
So she turns around at the end. She turns around. She goes, "Oh shit, my bad."
Yeah, so like that would have been if it was just like 10 seconds of that, it would have been way funnier than that whole 1.5, 2 minutes of them singing.
I mean,
like
hundreds and thousands of people on the internet liked it and watched it, so I think it was fine.
Good. It's because they're fucking getting their rocks off to goddamn Frozen. They're like, another Frozen little parody. Ooh, I'm so excited. What's different about this one?
It was just funny. God, can I not just like anything without you making fun of it all the time? I'm
pointing out what's wrong with it. If you like it, you like it. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. Like, why are you basing what you like on like the opinions that I have about it? I'm telling you my opinions about it, and you're getting upset about my opinions.
Because you very strongly and aggressively make fun of things that you don't like.
I wasn't making fun of it. I'm sitting here trying to work, and you sent me a 2.5-minute video where 3 words got changed.
Well, you could have watched it later when you had time and laughed.
Why would I have watched it later when I had time? It was a 2.5-minute video.
I was trying to make you laugh. I'm sorry.
You make me laugh. I'm not a I don't get fucking hard about Frozen. That's you. Like,
I don't get hard about Frozen either. It was just a funny video that showed up randomly.
You do. Every time you're like, yeah, I really love Frozen. Yeah.
I don't really like the first one that much. I like the second one.
The first one's better than the second one.
No, it's
not.
Your opinion is bad and wrong, and you should feel bad.
The second one's all about them complaining that they have to go find a fucking dam and like undo magic, and you're like, okay.
That is not. Like, they don't complain
whatever.
The whole time.
The premise of both of them is that they're both like young idiots who don't know what to do in the case of an emergency. They're like, oh, I have anxiety because I can make things cold.
They're princesses. You know, it's not for you.
It's not for you. All of a sudden, they didn't make it for you, okay? They made it so you would pay them to watch it. I know.
You know, I watched Wakanda Forever yesterday for the first time.
I did hear that.
It was really good, okay? So, you know, Chadwick Boseman is his last name, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he died.
I do know that.
Then there was another Black Panther, so they kill him off like at the beginning of the movie. The Black Panther dies, and it's really sad because you can tell it's like their real emotions about him. You know, like the funeral is really sad. Like, oh my god. But I think they did it really well. It was really tasteful, and the secret scene at the end was I was crying.
Secret scene? What?
Because at the end of
scene.
You know, at the end of all Marvel movies,
you're talking about the after credit scene. It's not a secret. How is that secret?
So
that's every one of their films.
The after credit scene was really nice. But the movie, I really enjoyed the movie. It's mostly about Shuri, his sister, in this one. I really liked it. I just watched it because I hadn't seen anything and I hadn't used Disney Plus in a while. But I really, really liked it, and it had me laughing. It was fun. It was a fun little story. And then I think they very tastefully dedicated it to Chadwick as well. You could tell that
tastefully. The cast really liked it. They didn't just say, "Hey, we dedicate this to you." They actually like put a little thought into it.
Well, and then so the opening credits, like you know how they always include scenes from movies, and the Marvel sign comes up.
Yep.
So all the opening credits were scenes of him and like him from his movies and scenes that he's had, and then it came up with the Marvel scene. It looked really good. It looked really cool, but it was all dedicated to him. And then at the end and during the funeral and stuff, they also showed more scenes of him, and I don't know, it felt really nice, and you could tell that they put a lot of care into it. It was a good movie. I would recommend watching it. Um, I
feel
think
like
there's
you're
probably
about
gonna be
to
another
cry.
one.
Like you sound like you're tearing up over there thinking about it.
No, I'm just a little like melancholy today, I guess.
Yeah, okay, just today, sure.
Yeah. Well, so like I started my day. I've been making these little mug of the day videos on TikTok.
Mug of the day.
Yeah, because I
What
have so
does
many
that
coffee
mean?
mugs. So I like do a little video showing people the mug I'm using today, and like while I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to get rid of, and seeing which ones I like and which ones I don't like. And so I've just been making little videos and sharing them with people on TikTok. But today I chose my South Carolina mug, and I got this mug at like when I went to go to my aunt's funeral, in South Carolina. So I was like a little sad this morning when I was thinking about it.
Yep. Sure. I can just build off of that real easy. Yeah.
Where are all
Appreciate
your
it.
stories?
Mhm.
Like you normally do
Love
more
it.
talking, and like you
Oh, I'm sorry. You
tell
just
us.
berated me for interrupting you, and now you're worried because you have to tell stories and they're not that exciting anymore.
Because you
What?
interrupted my story like 6 times, and you know I can't finish my thought if you interrupt me.
me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I love you, okay?
What a good argument.
I
Go eat some peanut butter, huh? How about that?
haven't eaten today. I think that's part of the problem. I just drank coffee on an empty stomach, so I'm a little jittery.
Yeah. Go eat some peanut butter.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why peanut butter?
What? You just said you had coffee.
What does that have to do with peanut butter?
Right? You have peanut butter?
Do
Well, what are you doing with it?
I make sandwiches out of it?
Okay, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Why are we talking about peanut butter?
Well, I don't know why you brought it up.
You brought it up.
No, you said you were hungry for peanut butter.
No, I did not.
Yeah. You were
Are you
like, yeah,
trying
all
to
I've done
subliminally
today-
tell me I'm hungry for
You were
peanut
like,
butter?
all I've done today is had the coffee, and then I put a little peanut butter, and I was like, why do you want peanut butter? And you were like, I don't know,
I literally
peanut butter
said
sounds
nothing
good.
about
And I'm
peanut
like,
butter. I
okay,
did not
man.
put peanut butter in my coffee.
Why would you put peanut butter in your coffee?
I wouldn't.
Well, why'd you do it then?
I didn't.
Well, you just said you had
Oh my
peanut butter
God.
and coffee.
Sorry. Have you seen the Elijah Wood interview where the guy keeps asking him about wigs that became a big meme?
No. What is it?
Oh my God, the video is so funny. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube for you to watch in a little bit. So TLDR though. So
Is that your new favorite phrase? Like what? Why don't
Sorry.
you just explain things? I don't understand. I'm not in that much
So
of a
Elijah
hurry.
Wood went on I guess it was like a prank interview. But he keeps asking him about wigs.
I got that part. Yeah. Mhm.
But so this guy's like, "Do you wear wigs?" And he's like, "No, I do not."
He's got
And
an
then the guy-
accent now. What?
Yes, the guy has an accent. And it's funny because the actor himself doesn't normally have an accent. Like I've seen this actor in so many 90s movies and stuff. But he's like, "Do you wear wigs?" And he's like, "No, I do not." He's like, "Will you wear wigs?" No, I have not. Like, he just keeps doing that. And you can tell Elijah Wood didn't know it was going to be like a prank. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? You know, but it's so funny. It became a really big meme on TikTok. But I think about it all the time.
You think about a lot of things all the time, supposedly. But whenever I go, hey, what are you thinking about? You go, I don't know, nothing. Mm-hmm.
Because the things I think
Catching
about
you in
aren't
lies.
fun.
Got 'em.
You don't want to hear what I'm thinking about. Like,
Caught her in a lie, folks. Here we go.
like I have my thoughts are usually like, oh my God, what if the moon crashed right now?
Yeah, but that's still a thought. Like every time I'm like, what do you think about? You're like, I don't know.
Do you want to be anxious
Crash?
too?
Anxious? Why would that make me anxious? Who cares? Like with the moon crash? If the moon crashed into the earth, is that what you're saying? Or if the moon just disappeared?
Yeah, like if the moon crashed into the earth.
Well, then we'd have a lot less oceans.
We'd probably die.
Maybe.
No, is
Depends
shockwave
on
that
where it
big?
hit. Well, how fast is it going? What if it's
It
going
doesn't
really
matter how
slow?
fast it would. It doesn't matter. It's so close to the Earth that if it hit with any impact of the moon to the Earth would cause a gigantic shockwave that would take out probably half the planet. Kind of like when the meteorite hit the planet and the dinosaurs died. But worse.
Okay, but what if we're on the other half of the planet? Like, what if it's daytime over here and it hits on the other side?
And then, like, who's going to control the oceans?
What do you mean, who controls the oceans? She's
Because the
UA. She
moon-
controls the oceans.
The moon is in the sky, and, like, the forces of the moon cause all the shit with the tides and stuff to happen properly. And
Yeah.
so if the
I'm
moon
sorry,
is
are you
gone,
like an avid sailor now? Are you worried that you
No.
won't get out on your yacht as often?
but if
What-
the moon is gone, does the ocean stop moving? What happens?
the tides stuff, like that's, yeah. You're
Isn't
getting off
stag-
topic. The
isn't
first
stagnant
part,
water
we're talking about
bad?
the first part. If the moon is moving slow enough to where it just barely touches the earth, you're telling me even if it touches it at like 0.0000 meters per second, it just like boop, barely touches it, it'll still kill half the planet?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay. No, we're talking right now. You use your brainicles for this, okay?
Everything on Earth would die, apparently. Not
if it
just
touched,
half of it.
if it touched, not even like what? Oh my gosh.
I don't think it could
Everything
just
would die.
slightly touch.
I don't think it's gonna fall out of the sky anytime soon either. That's why we're playing hypotheticals
Somewhat.
here, okay?
Someone also answered, there's no way to dissipate all of the moon's momentum instantly short of hitting it with something carrying enough momentum to turn the moon into a ring of fragments. So even if it was really slowly spiraling towards Earth, it would gain speed.
Well, yeah, but if it by the time it starts coming towards Earth, we have smart peoples who don't worry about what color a dress is or where a submarine went with 5 people on it. We actually focused on, like, gravity guns. Just shooting it. Do it. Shoot the gravity. Pew, pew, pew. Then we can slow it down. Or just leave.
Speaking of things in space, have you seen the Las Vegas aliens?
Like, personally, no, they're
No.
not in my hotel
No,
room.
the ones that were reported like a week and a half ago.
No, I haven't seen that.
So, this article says end of April 30th. The one I saw was June 15th. People keep calling 911, reporting UFOs, and then several people have reported seeing like 9-foot tall beings. But apparently, the police are saying it's not a hoax from Las Vegas.
Okay, now we trust the police all of a sudden? All right,
So
sure.
during COVID, the military released a lot of documents that had become like unclassified and basically said like, yeah, we know aliens exist.
Yeah, why wouldn't aliens exist? Who thinks that aliens don't exist now? Like, who
Silly
could believe that?
I want to know more about them.
Why? If they can travel here, they can kill us all. Why would you want to know more about them?
But maybe they're not bad aliens. In
Who
movies and stuff,
cares?
we always assume that if an alien species visited us, they would be bad. But maybe they'd be
Not
helpful.
in
Maybe they could help
every
us.
movie. It's not every movie that assumes that. You're racist. Gosh.
I mean, if I saw aliens, or if aliens
You
saw
would be
Earth,
afraid. Like, if a 9-foot tall thing walked up to you, you'd instantly be afraid. You wouldn't be like, maybe he's friendly. He'll just invite me out to tea later.
I guess it depends on what they look like.
Exactly, racist. You can just assume friendly intent or assume negative intent. But either way, if you're basing it off of looks.
Have you ever seen those theories that aliens like came to the planet like centuries and centuries ago, like way back when there was no technology and stuff here?
No, because there's theories and fucking what is it? The fucking what are they called? The conspiracy theories. There's like conspiracy theories about like literally everything. They're just like, oh, you know why the pyramids are shaped like pyramids? Aliens. You know why they're shaped like pyramids? Because they traveled through acoustically sound. You know why there's an ocean there? Because Atlantis used to be there. Like,
I think to question why the pyramids are pyramid shape is actually really bad because it erases a lot of history. Like, to be like, oh, the only way people could have built this were aliens. No, people built that with the use of slaves. Like slavery built the pyramids. Like
Yeah,
people were
alien
forced to
slaves.
build them.
Yeah. Aliens came
Alien slaves.
down, took people as slaves, built little pyramids, then they left.
But you know, like people be like, oh, we instinctively fear things. Like we fear snakes, we fear spiders, because like genetically
Yeah, that's
we've been taught that
evolution.
those are
Like,
bad.
as you, that's how that works.
So then people ask the question, why do we instinctively fear humanoid creatures or things that don't have faces and stuff like that when we haven't encountered any, unless you count legends of, like, you know, Native American legends about skinwalkers and things like that, or, you know, things we don't have evidence for, like paranormal things. So why do we fear things like that?
People just fear things that they don't know about because they're like, oh, it's gonna kill me or it's gonna hurt me, and you're like, it's like, okay, that's understandable, but the point, like, seeing something new and being cautious of it, and to the point of being like, hey, I don't want to go near that, is natural. Seeing something and being like, I'm afraid of that, I need to kill it and get rid of it, that's paranoia and fear, and that's where the issues come from. Like, that's the difference there. Like, if you see something new and you're like, let me study that, and so in a way that doesn't harm me or it, then you're fine. But if you're like, oh, look, a new plant, let me try and burn it and see if that works, and then it attacks you and you're like, oh, this plant's dangerous, we need to kill all of them. Well, you tried to burn it. Like,
could you imagine if like weed evolved and it got mad that people try to smoke it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, you're trying to burn me and it just causes cancer now, and you're like, what the
like, sucks to sucks, human scrubs. I think I'm too empathic or empathetic sometimes.
Empathetic. I have a new hat.
You know, when you start
empathetic.
Well, you start thinking about things that are alive, and like we don't know enough about everything in the universe, and like aliens exist and stuff, and it's like, man, like what if plants and all this stuff and like the earth can feel everything we're doing to it, but because
grass feels pain. Confirmed.
Well, because like, you know, what if it's just like beyond our understanding and beyond our plane of existence? So like to us, it's just plants, but it's
not beyond our understanding. Scientists have confirmed that grass feels pain when you cut it, and they release a hormone that's a distress signal to other plants nearby that they've been attacked.
Yeah, that's why the grass smells so good when it's been cut.
Yeah,
chemical.
It's blood.
That's so terrible. Like I
love it.
I can't exist peacefully.
Why would you need to? All right, we are the primary species on this planet, besides like dolphins, obviously.
God, dolphins are scary. Okay, if dolphins ever get smarter, we're fucked.
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, they're probably smarter than some people right now. So
like dolphins have been known to rape human women.
Yeah, they rape a lot of things, but I think the issue is there's just not too many dumb people. Like the dumb animals in the world, like dumb monkeys, dumb whatever it is, dumb spiders, dumb insects, dumb any animal, they die off. All right, they die because they just don't survive. But now we're just like, oh, we have dumb people, let's be nice to them. We gotta be like, let's dumb down everything else so that they feel included. And you're like,
you know what, to be fair, consciousness is a curse.
Just get rid of the dumb people.
Like
that's the
every time they make a wild animal conscious, it has an existential crisis. Like that gorilla that they like taught about life and death and stuff, and it started having panic attacks.
They taught sign language, and there was people were talking to about like death and stuff, and they were like, nope, no thanks.
Well, yeah, the one video I saw yesterday was like a gorilla, like an ape, like a full-grown ape, and they taught it about death. They told him that his cat friend had died. He started having panic attacks. He would beat his chest while panicking and say, "Ape, no want to be here," like in sign language and stuff. And it was like heartbreaking to watch. Like
that's how science moves forward. By
let's stop giving other animals anxiety disorders. Okay,
don't give anime anxiety. All right. Anime is too precious.
Anime is the least anxious. The dumbest person in anime is the happiest.
Yeah, the dumbest person's the happiest. Yeah,
it's never the demon slayer who's happy, okay? Like
the dumb people ignore the way of the world, and then they get real unhappy real fast when people around them start dying somehow. They're like, what's happening? You're like, yeah, the signs were all there. You were just ignoring them. You're kind of dumb.
Oh man, this is complete topic change random. Have you heard of Pearl?
Yeah, you break open an oyster and you steal their children. Yeah, pearls.
So Pearl is an internet person. Her name's Pearl Cooley. I knew nothing about her before this week.
How come you asked me if I've heard of Pearl but didn't include the last name? What?
Oh wait, that's not the right Pearl. That's a different
What?
Pearl.
Okay. All right, let's backtrack.
So, I didn't know anything about her, but I saw a clip from the H3 podcast, and I guess she doesn't believe in like feminism. She doesn't believe, like, she thinks that women have an expiration date, that women lose value after age 25. Crazy misogynistic shit like that, right? And she went on the H3 podcast with Ethan Klein, I think his name is. And guy was straight up destroying her in debate. Like, he came with facts, he came prepared, like, and so he took her own logic and twisted it on her, and it was really funny to watch this. Like, honestly, like, he was like, so by your own logic, you are less valuable because you are, like, I think he was like 26 or 27. And he's like, by your own logic, any man that ends up with you would be a loser because, you know, he's willing to settle for you as a devalued woman over the age of 25 or whatever. And she said, it was so funny because she was like, well, no, that's not what I mean. Like, I feel like you're being a little bit like,
you're taking my words literally. Ooh.
Yeah, and you could just see her like working it out in her head that like you could tell she was like kind of realizing where she was wrong. But I actually I would recommend watching it. It was great. I'm not usually a person who's like, oh, I want to watch people get taken down on the internet. But to watch somebody.
No, if they're wrong, just take them down or kill them. I don't care. Like, you're wrong. You're spreading misinformation, dumb ideas. Get out. Like, go away.
And he was so prepared. It was hard. And he was so calm, like, the whole time. He'd just be like, okay, so what about this? Or what about this? Just asking her questions, not being rude, anything, just very like, okay, so you said this, so by that logic, then this. And she'd be like, no. And he'd be like, well, that is your logic. That is the logic you just used. And it was really masterful to watch because he, like I said, he just was prepared. And I don't see that a lot online when you see those kind of videos. Like, usually it's just them kind of like shitting on the other person for views and clicks and stuff, but no like evidence or facts to back it up, just their own opinion. But no, he was like looking up scholarly articles, bringing up studies, like the whole 9 yards. It was cool to watch because I don't know, that kind of stuff is like, women, like, no, I am not less valuable because I'm 25 going on 26. Like, I am literally the same person I was.
Your birthday's not for like 2 months, so you got some time.
So I'm gonna be devaluable in 2 months then. Okay.
Yeah. I think it drops by half every year. So like, as soon as you hit 26, half of it's gone. Next year, down to 25%.
Well, if less people catcall me, I'm all for it.
Right.
That's the age I want to be.
Just start wearing shirts that says "Stop talking to me." I don't know.
I thought about getting shirts like that, but then like those kinds of shirts get people to like, they want to argue with you in public. You know, like your opinion is bad and wrong.
What are you talking about? Anytime I wear things or do things that I'm like, anytime I see someone with a shirt that says "Don't talk to me," I'm just like, all right, I'm not talking to them. Like, why would I want to?
Because you're a normal fucking human being, though. Like, there's a lot of men in this world who would see that shirt and be like, oh, I don't like that opinion. I should tell her.
Oh, is that a challenge? And you just look at it and be like, no, it's instructions. How about you learn how to read and then walk off?
I'm like, fuck off. I saw a really good video at Disneyland recently. They're like inside of the Star Wars area. Somebody was waiting for a ride, and this guy tried to like touch some woman, and it was this lady was playing the Resistance like leader or whatever, and she looked at him. She goes, "Keep your hands to yourself," and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She said, "Don't be sorry, be better." It was good. It was a good little moment. I've been talking a while. You say stuff now.
We've been having conversations. Stop getting self-conscious every 3 seconds that you talk more than 4. Like, come on.
Everybody always tells me I talk too much.
Makes me feel awkward. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
I don't know.
I showed you the audio, like the audio of the episode that got corrupted where all of your audio was gone. It was only like fucking 15 minutes of the hour that was gone. Like,
no, it was like a good third.
Okay, 20 minutes out of an hour and a half, whatever.
I don't really have any other news stuff.
What are you thinking about now?
Trying to think about what to talk about in this podcast.
Oh my gosh, you're trying too hard. Like, you had a great conversation earlier about the moon, and now you're just like, I can't think of anything. That's laziness, I think, is what it is.
So part of the reason I was thinking about aliens too is because I've been thinking about reincarnation a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know what I believe, you know, so I've just been reading
I
everything.
don't know what I believe.
Yeah, no, like, I know that sounds silly, but I was talking to my therapist about this.
Look,
like,
you've only got 2 months to decide, all right? After that, your opinion, the value of your opinion goes down, so you can't
Naturally.
even form beliefs, all right? That's how that works.
But, you know, I don't really have like a strong core belief system. Like, I'm not religious. I grew up Baptist, but my parents didn't really like make us go to church or anything. They want us to decide for ourselves. But I don't really believe in a religion. I don't know what I believe. But I've been reading a lot about reincarnation, and I don't know if I believe in it.
Why do you need to believe in religion, though? Like, why? Where does it say that you are required to believe in a religion? Like,
It doesn't. I just like
exactly.
I want to.
You just want to feel comfort in the ideas of religion,
Yes,
like
I
everybody
do.
else. Craziness. Who needs
Is there
it?
something so wrong with that?
Yes. Who needs
but
comfort in abstract ideas? Lots of people.
I like the idea of reincarnation. Plus, I think it could make sense with physics. Nobody knows. We'll figure out when we die, or we won't.
What do you mean with physics? Like,
because like, you know, that concept like of no new matter or energy is ever destroyed, only just recycled. I think it could make sense that like consciousness is recycled. Who are we ever going to know?
We're just slowly discharging consciousness, and then we die,
No,
and it all
like-
goes somewhere else. Like, what are you talking about?
No, like you die and maybe you become a new person, or you're born on another planet. I don't know.
Well,
I
I've
think it's a
decided
cool
that's my
concept.
new belief. We're all now reincarnating. I believe
I
in
just
it.
think it's a cool concept because
No, it's not a concept. It's fact.
let me talk about what I want to fucking talk about.
Well, you're degrading my new faith, so.
But so, you know, reading it, like people will ask questions in groups about reincarnation on like Reddit or like in Quora, people ask a lot about it. And I think it would be so cool, but only if we're not like locked into being humans on this planet. Because I think it would be much cooler to be reincarnated as an alien. No, I want to be like an alien. My grandpa always said he wanted to be reincarnated as a bumblebee. Great for him. I want to be an alien. I want to experience other places. Like, you know, what was that space movie with Cara Delevingne, where she and the dude get like engaged at the end, even though they weren't romantic for the whole movie?
Oh yeah. The Valeria City or something like that. It was like the city of
Valerian,
1,000 worlds.
City of 1,000 worlds or something like that.
Yeah, that's
you know
it.
the planet that they go to in that, like with the ocean, the big beautiful
The
ocean
beach
with all the blue
planet?
people that die.
You mean the beach planet that didn't actually exist? That one?
The one that got destroyed like way before any of that ever happened. I think a planet like that would be so cool to live on. I want to be a blue person.
They were called pearls in that. Another pearl reference.
Oh, nice. There were blue people in Wakanda forever too.
There's blue people in Avatar too, you know?
It's becoming a thing.
They have sex with their tails or something, or their ponytails. Is that what it was? I remember.
Yeah, people try to say that's not the metaphor, and I'm like, what else could it be?
I mean, that's not the metaphor.
It's not just a mental connection.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more obvious they could have gotten. It's even phallic. Like,
yeah, it's like, isn't it like 5 or 6 little tentacles like inside their hair that like leads to
it's
their
like their hair
brain,
splits.
You know? Yeah,
it's like their brain stem or something, and the hair splits off, and then they grapple onto each other like neurons, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, even if it is other people on the planet, at least make it a different version of Earth. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to be human again, just be a different version of Earth. Like one with magic. That'd be cool.
I think the concept of reincarnation too is kind of like not amazing, because like, when you think about it, they're like, oh, you do good things, you'll be reincarnated higher and higher. If you do bad things, like, and especially like in
why are you
Indian...
picking out those things? What if you just want to believe that you'll be reincarnated and that's it? That's the whole thought. Why you gotta read based off of other people's
because there's a lot of racism
conceptions
in
about
reincarnations, like conception, you know, like
there's a lot of what?
racism because they had the class and caste system in India when a lot of these ideas came about. So
Okay, but that's my point. Is like, why are you reading into their version of reincarnation? Why not just believe in your own version?
that is true.
Like you don't.
I think
There's nothing
what
that says that you have to. If reincarnation is your belief, that you have to believe in someone else's version of it. Why don't you
That's
just believe in your own version that you're gonna be reborn as a fucking stingray in the ocean, like Moana's parents, or like an alien on
can I
another
come
world,
back if I
or a
get
different person,
reincarnated?
and then,
I want to be like a megalodon.
why?
Sharks live so long and they're cool.
Sure, but they're extinct now, so they obviously weren't the greatest.
Did you know all creatures are getting smaller because of the atmosphere gets thinner and less oxygen over time?
Sure, if you say so.
That's why there's not a lot of like big animals like elephants and stuff like that left.
Dude, the reason there's not a lot of elephants is because they were hunted for ivory, not because.
Well,
of
I
the
mean, like, you know, like
planet.
we used to have, there used to be a lot of gigantic mammals on the planet, like, you know, saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah, like
and all that
dinosaurs.
stuff.
Saber-tooth tigers
Oxygen
were
in
about the same size as
environment
modern
can't support
tigers.
that anymore. Were they really?
Yeah, they're the same size as modern tigers. They just had bigger fur, like thicker fur, because they were around in the Ice Age, and they had giant fucking teeth. Like,
What would you want to be reincarnated as if it was actually a thing? Like, would you want to be a human again?
yeah, I got muted. Well, I guess I'm already used to it, so I may as well. You know, like.
I used to find it really scary when I was in middle school, like the concept of reincarnation, because the idea of being a brand new person with no memories or anything like that, like that's whew. Why?
Yeah.
What if I don't like scary movies?
Just reincarnate with your memories. You know. Why wouldn't you? That'd be fun.
It'd be nice if you could have a choice. Like, you know when people learn how to lucid dream? Like, I cannot teach myself how to lucid dream. I'm so jealous of people who can do it.
I've never looked into it. Supposedly there's like ways to teach yourself how to like recognize it and
I tried.
get better at it, but I haven't looked into it enough to
Like,
do that. You know?
Some of the techniques I saw would be
tried.
like, yeah, like one summer I tried it. It was like you would set an alarm clock for specific intervals so you could wake yourself up at a specific time and like learn to recognize like what it feels like when you're alert from sleep and stuff like that. And then one of them was like, oh, pick an object like your hand, and every day for a few weeks, like look at your hand every like 20 minutes or something, like make it a habit, like, oh, I will look at my hand, because in dreams you can't see your hands and stuff like that usually. So in your dream, if you make it a habit in real life, the theory is that you'll see it when you're dreaming and you'll start doing it when you're dreaming, and then you'll realize you're in a dream because it won't look like it does in real life. But I don't know if it's just because I have a lot of sleep problems. Admittedly, I'm not like a normal sleep healthy person, so I don't know if it's possible for me, but it seems really cool. There's been a few times where I've realized I was dreaming while dreaming, but I couldn't do anything with it. I always woke up, so I feel like it'd be fun though.
Every once in a while
Create
I'll have that
worlds
where
in
I'm
your
like,
sleep.
this is a dream, and then I just wake up in a little bit anyway. I'm like, all right, well, that was cool.
For me, it always happens where I am having a dream within a dream within a dream. So I'll wake up from the first dream and then wake up from the second dream. Yeah, it's very weird. I think it's part of the sleep issues I have though, because it'll be like waking up in the real world, like I'll wake up in the room in my dream and something weird will happen and I'll be like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then I'll wake up again and finally it's for real. But it's always like something realistic, but then something really strange happens. That makes me go, oh shit, wake up. And that's usually when I have the sleep hallucinations too, like where I have conversations with you or on the phone with people, and then everybody is like, no, that never happened, and I'm like, oh.
You do that like in dreams though. You don't do it out loud anymore. Like I've never heard you talk in your sleep, unless I try and wake you up, and then you're like, hey, okay, how about we get up? And you're like, I'm like, that's cool too, but you gotta get up now. And then I wake you up and you're just the grouchiest thing. You're like,
I'm so
how did you
sorry.
get me up? I don't understand. And I'm like, yeah, but you need to get up. And then I go away and come back, and you're still just sitting in the same place. And I'm like, I'm gonna get you up. And then I pick you up, and you're like, oh, and I'm like, yep, that sounds good too. And then I go like push you towards the shower, and then you come out of the shower and you're like, "Good morning," and I'm like, "Is it a good morning?" All of a sudden, like, okay.
I don't know why I can't fucking wake up, and I get so.
And then I'm like, "Do you remember getting out of bed?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Do you remember getting out of bed?" You're like, "No, I just got up and went and took a shower." I'm like, "Yep, that's all that happened."
It happens to me it happened to me this morning actually. My alarm went off and I like jolted out of bed and turned it off immediately, but I was not awake until I got out of the shower. It's all a blur. The cat didn't wake me up. I had to wake her ass up this morning.
You didn't have to wake her up. She's a cat. Just let her sleep.
Well, the moment I'm not with her, she runs to wherever room I'm in. So if I get up, she'll get up and like run. She had the zoomies real bad this morning too. Now she's sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, she's sleeping again. Crazy how she just does that because she's a cat.
But what else? What have you been playing lately?
I have been playing Redfall, and not because it's good, because it's not. Oh my gosh, this is.
So should I uninstall it? I know I can hear it. He has not great sound in his little room. I have not played Redfall for a long time.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Every time they're like, "Service," I'm like, "No, I'm good." I keep telling them just show up on weekdays when I'm not here, and they always usually show up like every other weekend. I'm like, still no. What are we talking
Sorry,
about?
I am busy. Video games, Redfall. Why is it trash?
Oh yeah, so I've been playing Redfall. It's not good. It's still not good. In fact, it's probably gotten a little bit worse because the controls are just not good. But I have to play it. I am required by gamer law because my gamer score, the first like time we played it, I got an achievement that was worth like fucking 11 points. So now my gamer score has a 1 at the end of it, and I'm like, you fucking asshole. So now I have to go back in and get some other achievements that are worth some odd numbers. Like they have some that are worth like 17. I'm like, so now I have to go get some achievements. I've been trying to, but it's real hard to play because as soon as they made the enemies more difficult, and one of the things that they changed about the vampires is, you know how they teleported like in the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So now there's such a small time between when they're physical and when they teleport again that it takes so much ammo to shoot them, because even though I'm aiming straight at them, the game counts them as being in like a teleporting state, so the bullets just don't hit them. So I'm like, cool. So now there's no way to avoid them hitting you either. So I'm like, awesome. Thanks for this. Love it. I'm playing on the easiest difficulty, and I'm still like barely fucking getting through it because of how ramped up the difficulty on these enemies are and how bad the gameplay is. I'm like,
that's so weird considering how easy it was at launch.
I know. They increased the difficulty of all the enemies, even on their easiest mode. But they changed like the way the game thinks. Like if the vampire is teleporting, you can't hit him because he's not like physically there.
Mm-hmm.
But he teleports in a straight line at you if you're far enough away. So even if you're shooting, it counts that whole like length of time while he's running at you as teleported time, and you just can't hit him. I'm like, that's cool. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, not being able to find balance kills a lot of games. So
it's not even the balance. Is the game is terrible with memory. Like it's trying to keep the whole game loaded the whole time, so every like input that I give has a delay in the game. So it's in most games it's fine, but in first person shooters it's a fucking instant like killer of the game.
Yeah,
like,
noticeable delay.
There's a noticeable delay every time I try and turn to aim at something. I'm like, it's the worst. I'm like,
that should have been the first thing they fixed.
it's not good. Like the memory management is so bad that every time I turn to aim, I have to wait to see where my cursor is going to end up, because otherwise I can't shoot. I'm like, I stop moving the controller, and then I just wait to see where I'm going to end up aiming. You know?
Do you think it works better on an actual Xbox now?
I have no idea. It probably runs better on PCs. Like it might run better on my desktop at home, but it's an Xbox Series X.
The last time I played, mine was pretty laggy too, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but that's pretty much all I've been playing is just that, so that I can just fix my gamer score because it fucked it up when I was we played it the first time. And now I'm frustrated about it.
I've just been actually playing The Sims. It's crazy, I know.
Yeah, but like some of the achievements that are worth 17 like require you to play online. Like it requires you to play with other people because it's like gain maximum trust with this other character that's in your game. And I'm like, you can't do that in solo.
I can do that with you sometime if you want.
To do it with somebody else. I'm like, it's the worst. I'm like, I don't
mind
there's still a ton
through
of
all the
bugs
characters
in
and
it
playing
too.
with you.
Okay, well we'll look into it, but there's still a ton of bugs in it too. Like the crosshairs disappear like more than half the time that I'm aiming. At one point when I aimed like a handgun, the reticle, like the aiming wasn't lined up. It was off to the side, so it never fully completed like the aim animation. So I was aiming diagonally for like an hour because it wouldn't fix itself even when I restarted the game a couple times. I was like, this is the worst. Finally, I just like it finally corrected itself after a while, but I was like, the animation just wouldn't complete. Like it wouldn't fully aim the gun straight, so it was aiming diagonally. So I had to like offset where I was aiming. It was not good.
Yeah. I don't think I'll go back to play except for to help you with the achievements. I don't care about the achievements.
That's all I'm playing it for because like it's not a great game. It's just I want to fix my gamer score. I'm like,
did I tell you? I'm almost at 40k words.
Yeah, you said you hit 100 pages in your book the other day. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I've been writing it in this online program and then putting it into Microsoft Word. So like I see the progress differently now. But I'm hoping I can write more today. My arm feels a little bit better, so.
Yeah, what was up with your arm? Like you just injured it somehow or what?
I think I've been barring too much at work. Because it's been a few years since I had an injury like this. I think it's from barring too much. And I have been barring a lot. We've been busy. I've been helping the team out. So I think I just need to, rest it and not do so many repetitive motions.
Yeah, probably a decent idea. You on bar a lot next week?
No, I'm all admin on Monday, and then Tuesday I'll probably be on like warming or something I don't have to.
Warming. You just stand there and you're like, welcome. And you're like, oh,
it's the person who does all the food.
I know, but it sounds why don't you just call it the cook? Because you don't cook anything, you guys just warm it up.
Yeah.
We do warming here. We don't cook things.
Yeah, so we have the bar positions, warming, customer support, and front of sale.
Customer support? What is that? Are they not all customer supports?
Customer support does anything that supports the customer experience. So like cleaning, stocking, helping make sure that everybody else has what they need on the floor so that we don't have to like leave the floor to
it's just a bar back that also stocks
basically,
bills.
Yeah,
that's just a bar back. What do you customer experience? Okay. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am.
I didn't come up with the names, okay?
I don't care about your experience. That's his job.
People in the bar have to like talk to customers.
No. They don't have to ensure that they're pleasant though. That's customer experience job.
It's an interesting business.
Your barista was mean to me. Like, well, they weren't on customer experience. They were on bar. So sorry. Maybe you should talk to the right department next time.
It was even weirder when I worked there's a place called Cafe Zupas in Vegas, but they do like different managers for everything, kind of like a restaurant, even though they're not like a full restaurant. So they'll have like a front of house manager, they have a back of house manager, they have a general manager, and then they have like a hospitality manager.
That's just giving more people like the feel good that they need. And they're like, yeah, you guys are important. Like, that's what that is. Like, ooh, you're executive janitors. Like, oh, thank goodness.
But yes, and everybody does that position and rotates through it. So it's like, yeah, we all take care of it.
Oh man, I'd be the worst in that position. I think we talked about it before. I'd be the worst and just be like, oh, was your coffee a little too coffee-y for you? That must be a shame. How about you go outside and fill it up with some rainwater and come back and tell me again how it tastes bad?
Actually, I'll tell you, I don't get a lot of bad customers anymore. One of the most frustrating people I ever served, he wanted just a regular coffee, just nothing, regular coffee, right? Give him a cup of coffee. He says it's cold. Okay. I make him a brand new pour over. He said there was grounds in it. There wasn't. I made it myself. But this man looks at me. It's during COVID times. I took it out to his car. He looks at me and goes, "You know how to make a cup of coffee?"
Oh man, I would immediately look back and be like, apparently better than you, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You'd just make it at home. And then I walk away. Like,
I went and got him another cup, and when I told my baristas about it, they were like, "Oh, let me take it out to him. Let me take it out to him." And I was like, no, you guys are not going to talk to this man.
do you know how to make a cup of coffee? Nope. That's why I work at Starbucks where everything's pre-made. We just unfroze this coffee a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's like I literally just brewed it. Some people I think just like are having a bad day or something, and it makes their drink taste bad, and then they blame us.
You know, enjoy your coffee.
But then the nice
Bye.
customers are so nice. Like I have one. There was one day I don't remember what happened, but my store was just slammed, like absolutely slammed. And this customer sent us cookie crumble, just to like make our day better.
Yeah.
We get a lot of customers like that, who treat us really well, and they do make up for the bad people. But obviously, I remember the bad stories years later. So
Yeah, I know, because there was that thing that was like, we innately look for negative things that happen and remember them to like, just as an evolution. The thing back to it is, if we had a negative experience eating a mushroom, like it made us sick, we're gonna remember that mushroom
yeah.
as the sick mushroom. It's the same thing. You don't remember the happy people because you're just like, oh, that was nice, that was happy. But then somebody makes you upset, and you're like, well, I'm going to avoid that at all costs, so I'm going to remember that forever.
Yeah, it's my nervous system is so fucked up, man. It's like you're supposed to help me when things go wrong, not when I have to talk to somebody on the phone. Like, leave me alone.
You're right. Ugh. All right, you got any other stories?
No, I'm chill.
All right. Well, I would normally keep going, but turns out my body was like, you know what you haven't done in a while? Almost shit yourself. Time to do that. So I'm gonna go.
All right. Thanks for listening with your ears today, guys.
I hope you listen with your ears. That'd be weird.
And we'll catch y'all next time.
Yep. Thank you for listening. Go check us out on the website. Do all the fun things. Share us with friends. We'll see you next time.
Bye.